The time has come for the Monday, November 19th, 2018 regular council meeting. Roll call, please.
Alderman Tempest.
Present.
Alderman May. Alderman Valco. Present. Alderman Taylor. Present. Alderman Bolton. Present. Alderman Seeger.
Present.
Alderman Mozio.
Here.
Alderman Villalobos.
Present.
Alderman Newsom. Present. Mayor Cunningham.
Present. On the agenda, you have a Pastor Janice B. Cummings of Trinity A&B Church. Supposed to be leading us in invocation. However, we have a small change in plans. We have not only a commissioner elect of our county board, he's also a pastor. Pastor Angelo Kyle, could you please lead us in prayer? Thank you, sir. At the podium.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, the giver of all good and perfect gifts, we thank you for this occasion. We thank you for this opportunity. We ask that you would bless this meeting. We ask that you would give us direction, give us guidance, give us your wisdom, and then we'll be careful to give your name the praise. We ask that you would bless the citizens of the city of Waukegan. We ask that you would lead us into a promised land, and then we'll be careful to give your name the praise. In Jesus' name and for his sake we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. In leading us in Pledge of Allegiance will be Pastor Brown and a Civil Service Commission board member. Pastor Brown, just lead us in Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next on the agenda, Mayor's comments. Welcome and thank everyone for attending. The road work on Washington Street is slated to be completed by December 7th. AT&T has completed their work on their line, allowing Campanella & Sons to complete the sloping and leveling of the ravine before Peter Baker & Sons can pave. Because of the cold weather, standard curbs and sidewalks will not be able to be completed until spring of 2019. In the interim, a temporary sidewalk will be created with separations from both vehicles, traffic, and the ravine on the north side of the street. Thank you to the public for your patience. On Thursday, November 15th, we had a great turnout at our city council chambers for our first public meeting for the new comprehensive land use plan. Well over 100 people attended, and the consultants got some great feedback on people's vision for the future of Waukegan. We invite everyone to continue following this process at www.planmywalk.com. Again, www.planmywalk.com. Thank you for everyone for their input. Also want to send a special shout out to our planning and zoning department. Noel, Russ, and Steve, the work that you put in, and getting everyone to participate, making phone calls so we can have a awesome turnout, in which we did. I think we had well over 150 individuals that attended, and that's what we're going to need as we move throughout this process of our comprehensive land use plan. So kudos to you and your team, Noel. The holidays are fast approaching, and the city wishes everyone a safe and happy holiday season. Unfortunately, some of the people's holidays will need a little help. We have the U.S. Marines Toys for Tot box, which will be outside of my office for the next 2 weeks. If you can donate a new $10 or higher value toy, you will make a child smile brighter this season. We have a couple of items that our city clerk has graciously helped us with, along with myself. Here's some things we're going in tonight. We're asking all of you at this time, some of us are very more fortunate than others, that we can bring and put a smile on the face of a young man and a young lady. Thank you for that. Upcoming events. Small Business Saturday is November 24th, and we encourage you to shop locally. Waukegan's Main Street, South Genesee Merchants Block, North Genesee International Merchants Block, Washington Street Merchants, and neighbors are helping businesses prepare for the day. Remember, for every $100 spent at a local business, $68 stay in our community. Waukegan's official tree lighting is Saturday, December 1st at Jack Benny Plaza. Waukegan's Main Street hosts musicians, vendors, hot chocolate, and selfies with Santa between 4 and 6 p.m. before the lighting. Genesee Theater will show the Muppet Christmas Carol at 2:30 p.m. and Elf at 6:30 p.m. to get you in the spirit. In the Waukegan Park District will host a Winter Wonder Walk at 4 p.m. At 6 p.m., join me as I flip the switch and light up our tree. Finally, the Color of Christmas featuring 4 pop and R&B singers will be at the Genesee Theater on Saturday, December 2nd. Tickets are available online and at the box office. As always, additional information and events, see the calendar on the city's website.
Mayor?
For those who do not know, one of our, I'm going to say legendary principals in the Waukegan Public School System was which of mine, Alderman Mozio,
Alderman May?
Alderman Mays, Mr. Jim Odorizzi, affectionately known as Mr. O. Mr. O passed away, so we like to send our condolences to him and his family. Obviously, Mr. Tempe, as you worked with him for many, many years. Mr. Odorizzi was, he was a legend in our community, and as known throughout Waukegan, probably Lake County. I think Mr. O had, how many years, Larry, as a principal? And he was a Raider. I'm sorry, he was a Bulldog.
Bulldog.
He was a Bulldog. I mean, over 20-some years.
He might even have been Commissioner Kyle. Commissioner Kyle, was he principal when you were in high school too?
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Mr. O.
So you were there in,
And I was there in 1911.
what'd you say, 1957? Well, I graduated in 83 and he was still there, so I mean, Mr. Odorizzi was the best. That's
Still
for sure.
walking the halls. Tall Odorizzi. So obviously, for those who do know him and those who do not, on behalf of the mayor's office, and I can say this, all of our city council and the citizens of Waukegan, we send our condolences to him and his family. Is YCC? They're not here? Don't see them. Uh-oh, yes, they are. Oh, here we are. At this time, I'm gonna have 2 presentations, one of them for YCC. Come on in, gentlemen. I want to now present the Waukegan Proud Awards to YCC for their second year volunteering in Operation Clean Sweep, a citywide cleanup of our wards. This year, we're acknowledging 17 volunteers, including team leaders Tyrone and training manager Tom Berry. Each week this summer, YCC came out to clean up alleys, trash, graffiti, and vegetation. I just want to thank them for all of their commitment, and to their young men and young ladies. I know, Tyrone, you're here. We're going to be presenting what we call our Waukegan Proud Awards to them. One second. What I do, often we have a lot of young men and young ladies that come through our communities, and they do some amazing things, but they don't get any credit. No one tells them that you are doing the right things to be successful in our society. No one. But the minute one of our young men and young ladies have an issue, they're on the front page news, they're in the social media, and people are talking about them. But we have young men and young ladies who are doing what we expect for them to do. And we want them to know that we are proud of them as they go through their challenges. So we have, city council, myself, and says, hey, let's bring them in front of city council, in front of the public, and say, yes, we are proud of you. And today, we're going to be presenting these at their meeting, but right now, the managers, I come down there. These are the two managers that supervise these young men and young ladies at YCC. You put up a lot of time with these, with a lot of these young men and young ladies who come to your. Some of them are what we call pretty raw, have no skill sets, but when they come, you nurture them, you walk them through a process, but you hold them accountable. And they stand up and they perform like you want them to do. So I want you to be able to give these Waukegan Proud certificates to all of the young men and young ladies in your team. Thank you very much for what you do, what YCC does for the city of Waukegan and for our young men and young ladies. Take care. God bless. You supervisor, or you want a young? Come on, you want a student? I'm proud of you. Come over here. Why don't you come in the middle, big guy? What's your name? Hector? How you doing, Hector? Right here. Here you go. All right. Thank you for getting there. Turn around, as always, man. Keep it up. And next in line, here we have from the Lake County Health Department, at my request, and again, and it's also for the alderman. The Lake County Health Department Executive Director Mark Pfister is here to provide a brief update on the council, to the council about the MEDLINE facility in Waukegan. And for the sake of time, because of tonight's long meeting, we invite anyone with questions after Mark's presentation to contact him via the contact information outside, or we'll get that information before you leave, Mark. Mark, you take the podium. Thank you. Thank you for coming tonight, sir.
Sure, thank you. Good evening. So my name is Mark Pfister, Executive Director over at the Lake County Health Department, and I just wanted to inform the City Council that on November 2nd, 2018, the Lake County Health Department learned about concerns of the ethylene oxide emissions from both MEDLINE Industries in Waukegan and Vantage Specialty Chemicals in Gurnee. So our health department team began investigating immediately, working with our federal, state, and local partners. And just as a reminder, ethylene oxide is a colorless gas used to make other chemicals that produce many everyday products. It is also used in sterilizing medical and dental equipment. So people can be exposed to ethylene oxide through direct inhalation, ingestion, or contact to the skin. So just a clarification is that MEDLINE is using ethylene oxide to sterilize their products, whereas at Vantage, they're using ethylene oxide to create products. So that's the difference between the two plants. The other change that came was the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency classified ethylene oxide as a human carcinogen in December of 2016. So before that, risk modeling that they had done, it was a potential carcinogen. So also as a reminder, the Illinois and U.S. Environmental Protection Agencies are currently solely responsible for regulating emissions and are the lead agencies. So the County Health Department has no regulatory authority over emissions in Lake County. But what we have understood from our residents that they're very concerned about this issue, and we share their desire for more information and action to protect public health. Our role is to assure that the regulatory agencies are protecting the health of Lake County residents. So in speaking with many of our residents, we have identified that there's been confusion regarding the 2014 National Air Toxics Assessment, or NATA, online map shared recently in the media. So what your residents have come to know is that they've looked at that map, is that their house may be in a higher risk area. It may be dark blue, it may be light blue, it may be yellow. And so certainly this is a concern for anyone who lives within those areas. But I need to really stress, and US EPA has stressed this to us, is that that map is a screening tool. So that is an area where there is potential cancer risk. But from a health department perspective, there are no known cancer clusters in the areas surrounding these facilities. So I just want to make that clear. There's a difference between cancer risk areas and areas that have cancer clusters. So there are no known cancer clusters in these areas. So the health department had a phone conference call with US EPA and other federal and state agencies on November 7th, 2018. US EPA has already informed us that MEDLINE, both MEDLINE and also Vantage Specialty Chemicals, have voluntarily opted to install additional controls to reduce their ethylene oxide emissions. So what will have to happen next is EPA will have to issue a permit, for those new controls. But our goal as a health department is to really reduce emissions as great as possible, because the fewer emissions, the less exposure we have to our residents. Also, as a result of that meeting, the health department's communication manager, Hannah Goring, had a meeting with the communication group at US EPA. And so the US EPA will be setting up a Lake County page on their website that will provide our residents with regular updates on the investigation, future ethylene oxide interventions, and emission monitoring, and answers to their question. In fact, the US EPA told us earlier today that that website will be up and running today. Unfortunately, before this meeting, I did not see the website up and running, but as soon as it's up and running, we will have a link to that webpage right off the health department page. Certainly we'll work with David Motley and through the city of Waukegan to make sure that that link is out there for your residents. So we're going to be sharing that website with anybody and everyone, because again, the US EPA is responsible for making sure that information is out there. Additionally, we had a joint meeting last Friday on November 16th, and when I say joint meeting, we had IEPA, the Village of Gurnee, City of Waukegan, and the Health Department. And so we also requested that the IEPA put any information that they have on the US EPA webpage so that we have one source for all information with regard to this issue. Additionally, the Health Department will be on site at MEDLINE on November 27, 2018 to get a better handle on the additional controls and the current methodologies that they're using to control emissions at that site. We are also monitoring, there are 4 legislative bills that are in front of the state during the veto session. It looks like the one bill on the House side, there was a bill that was introduced by Yingling that was then taken over by Carol Senti. But it looks like the vehicle that they would be using to work on the ethylene oxide potential ban would be the Durkin bill, which is coming out of DuPage. So that appears to be the venue for that. And additionally, as you're all aware, is that the Health Department does support the letter that was sent from Dick Durbin, Duckworth, and Congressman Schneider to the Acting Administrator of US EPA to request additional air monitoring and so additional investigations with regard to this issue. But I wanted to close with is that we're early into this issue. I mean, so far, our goal is to get a website up and running so the residents can see exactly what these different studies and the different risk factors have been identified, what they mean, so that it's very clear. So that we're not just relying on media reports coming down from the Chicago Tribune and other outlets, is that we should be hearing this directly from the regulatory agencies that have authority over this issue. So with that, I'll close.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. And again, if anyone would like to get more information, feel free to contact Mr. Fisher at the Lake County Health Department. And Alderman Taylor.
I actually attended the meeting, the committee meeting with the Lake County Board on November 6th, and you spoke there. And MEDLINE is in my ward, and I want to say thank you for addressing the issue. You've been so professional, so helpful, and on behalf of the City of Waukegan, thank you for all the work you've done on our behalf. Thank you.
Well, and thank you for the City of Waukegan for being a great partner. It was a great conference call with IEPA. I mean, certainly both Waukegan and Gurnee are very interested in ensuring that their residents are safe too.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else? There are 2 more things. One, as you probably as can see, that we're a little bit behind on our leaf pickup. We've been informed by Advance that they are about a week. Is that right, Mike? About a week behind Their goal and objective is try to get caught up before the end of Friday. Don't know if that's going to be possible, but just so everyone knows, we're still going to be picking up these leaves, but we're a little bit behind. One of the reasons we're behind is when we've been having some problems with people raking those leaves in the street, and when it rains, that water is underneath those leaves, and that water gets into their machine. It is breaking, it's causing those machines to malfunction or break down. So when those machines go down, that means a truck is down. So we're asking everyone to please be cautious, be mindful, should I say, and put all the leaves right on the curb. That'd really, really help us out. But we're not in the gutter. Certainly not in the gutters, but on the parkway. On the parkway is the most important thing. And last but not least, there was an article given to me today, and it says, infrastructure investment in the works. Illinois lawmakers considering a capital bill. And that's with the Chicago Tribune. One of our hopes is that we hope that the new legislature at our state and national come up with an infrastructure or capital bill. This is critical to all cities in Waukegan, all cities in the state of Illinois, but more importantly, to those in Waukegan, Illinois. As you can see, Washington Street has been down roughly about going to probably be 50 days before it actually opens up. That's a $3 million cost to the city of Waukegan. Our infrastructure is crumbling. We have taken some steps in the city of Waukegan to start that, but we need much, much more help from our state and our national leaders. I'm asking, please give your state legislators a phone call and let them know how important this is to have an infrastructure bill from the Capitol, from the state level and from the national level. With that being said, motion by Alderman Seeger, second by Alderman Valco, to approve regular meeting minutes from Monday, November 5th, 2018. Any questions to the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion's passed and carried. Item 3, audience time. Madam Clerk.
Okay, we have 3 minutes each. The first is James Gignac.
Good evening, my name is James Gignac. I am an energy analyst with a group called the Union of Concerned Scientists. We are a national nonprofit advocacy group working on clean energy with our Midwest office in Chicago. Last month we released a major new report called Soot to Solar. It looks at Illinois' energy transition in the context of retiring coal-fired power plants and the growth in clean energy in Illinois. Tonight, I'd like to highlight for you what we found through a series of analyses as it pertains specifically to Waukegan and the Waukegan coal-fired power plant. First, we did a power flow analysis to look at whether the plant can be retired without impacts on reliability to the electric grid, and we found that the plant can be retired and that other resources on the electric grid can step in to replace the plant. Also, the smaller oil-fired turbines, combustion turbines, can be replaced with clean energy spread throughout the Chicago area. Second, retiring the plant sooner rather than later will avoid numerous premature deaths and prevent numerous respiratory and cardiovascular health impacts, including 143 premature deaths if the coal plant was retired by 2022 instead of operating to 2030. Third, we looked at the potential for installing a utility-scale battery storage facility at the Waukegan power plant site, and using a energy economic model, we show that a 16 megawatt energy storage facility has economic feasibility at the site and can help maintain reliable electricity supply in that area. We also looked at the possibility for consumers and businesses to install solar and storage and energy efficiency. As you know, through the Future Energy Jobs Act, we are seeing the tremendous growth and opportunity for growth in solar power and energy efficiency. And through our modeling and analysis, we show that most businesses and homes in the Waukegan area can cut their energy bills in half cut them by more than half by installing solar, and by including energy efficiency, the savings are even higher. In addition, through our SIP to Solar analysis, we prepared a case study working with local residents to look specifically at the possibilities for a just transition plan for the Waukegan coal plant site. So what I would like to do is leave with you hard copies of our report. Thank you.
Karen Nystrom.
Hi, I'll be brief. My name is Karen Nystrom. I have lived in Waukegan for about 6 years, and I am a current board member of Waukegan Main Street and the current chair of Three Brothers Theater. And I just wanted to speak in favor of, there's a resolution on the agenda tonight to authorize the mayor to sign a lease for a craft brewery and distillery in the current Urban Edge location. And as the chair of Three Brothers Theater, I think that would be just a great thing, because we need people to spend their dollars in Waukegan before and after they go to events in Waukegan. And I think this would be really helpful. And also distilleries and craft breweries tend to be destinations in themselves, so people actually come there just for that thing. So I'm very hopeful that this will, I know it had at least had to be very carefully crafted, but I'm hopeful that this will be successful this evening. I think one of the other things that could be encouraged is that even though there's no food that would be served on either of these, in either of these businesses, that food trucks might be a great addition near there. So just want to encourage you and thank you for your time.
Thank you. Kelvin Mathis.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Council. It's been a while since I came up here and spoke to you guys. In the last couple of years, I just think that sometimes, to my fellow citizens, sometimes we just don't give our city officials the proper respect that we probably should give them. In the last year, there's been a lot of harshness, a lot of tartness, hostility and bitterness, and it's all aimed at defaming and humiliating and degrading another human being. I know that these are public officials, but they're still human beings. You were saying things to these fellow citizens, human beings, that we wouldn't say to them probably in their face. And they're at a tremendous disadvantage because we expect them to be professionals and conduct themselves in a certain way. And I'm not one to take away anyone's First Amendment rights, because the First Amendment is a powerful amendment. We have the right to say certain things, but I would just hope that we can reconsider the way we say things. I notice we have a lot of ministers here, and I'm going to take a minute just to read a scripture, because it's been going through my head a lot since I've been coming down the last couple of years. And it's the harvest is past, and the summer is ended, and we are not saved. For the hurt of the daughter of my people, I am hurt. I mourn. Astonishment has taken hold of me. Is there no balm in Gilead? Is there no healing there? Why then is not the health of the daughter of my people recovered? I drive up on Washington in Green Bay, Belvedere in Green Bay, and I see a canary in the coal mine. Those are white people standing there. To me, that's a canary in the coal mine. People are hurting. And I know that hurt people hurt people. And so as a city, I think we can work together to heal people. And I think the city wants to do that. I think the city council meeting, the city council, I think they want to do that. In fact, I seen, just ironic, Sam pulled up beside me at one of those corners. And I know he talked to one of those homeless people. I don't know what they're homeless or not, but I'm not gonna judge. But I'm just saying my point to my fellow citizens that maybe we can rephrase, just reconsider how we address one another. It's getting kind of out of hand the way we're talking about one another here and defaming one another. It's just not productive. So just reconsider. So that's it, all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Mathis. Thank you. Warren and Marilyn Pitts. Warren and Marilyn Pitts. Warren and Marilyn Pitts. All right. Yvonne Buckner.
I have absolutely no idea why she don't want to speak. She don't want to speak.
All right. Anais Placido.
Hello, my name is Anais Plastic. After graduating college in 2014, I moved to Waukegan from Southern California. I've come to call Waukegan home and intend to describe it to outsiders as a city full of people working hard to improve their lives and where graduates like myself can reinvent themselves and create their own opportunities. However, much to my dismay and horror, I've learned that these last 4 years I have lived in a neighborhood where cancer, constant gas emissions from MEDLINE and Vantage have put my and my family's health at risk. I've also learned that the mayor and his staff knew of this since August 21st. I would like to know why this was not disclosed sooner. I would also like to ask the city to hold a town forum with the EPA, MEDLINE, and Vantage present so the residents like myself can get answers. I could give a list of statistics and case studies on the negative effects of toxic emissions on a neighborhood's health, but we should already be looking into that collectively. Nobody willingly lives in these danger zones, and they shouldn't have to move again to escape them. Thank you.
Thank you. Jenny Bovid. Jenny Bovid.
Good evening, Council. My name is Jenny Bovio, and I'm a proud Waukegan resident. I'm here to ask the Council to take an active role in holding MEDLINE accountable for exposing Waukegan, Park City, and Gurnee residents to ethylene oxide. Why did you not inform Waukegan residents of MEDLINE emitting toxic chemicals, including ETO? I urge City Council tonight to not solely depend on the US EPA and the IEPA and to use home rule authority to force MEDLINE to use an alternative when sterilizing medical products. It is the City Council members who are responsible for protecting the health and safety of all residents, which should not be bypassed because of a corporation tax base. Waukegan is a beautiful city with amazing art scene, the Genesee Theater, and a future beachfront music festival that may soon instead be known as a cancer cluster. Let us not become another Willowbrook. We can be amazing, and I want us to be amazing. I've lived the majority of my life in Schaumburg, but I consider myself a Waukegan resident, and I'm proud of my city. I don't want us to be on the news for this. We can do something different. We don't have to depend on the IEPA and that US EPA. Let us not just let this pass out of our hands. I appreciate the transparency that Alderman Valco has had with me with passing along information that he learned, and I appreciate what's been said here today, and I want that to continue, and I want to know that you all have our best interests at heart and that you're going to fight for us and protect us, and you're going to do everything you can and not say, well, the air is the EPA's. You're going to say, the city is ours, and you're going to do what you can and everything you can to take care of us. And I know that you will, and we're counting on you. Make Waukegan an amazing destination and not another Willowbrook. Thank you.
Thank you. Ron Rogers.
Good evening. My name is Ron Rogers, and I'm the owner of Lake County Towing. Prior to Mayor Cunningham, I had a towing contract of 100% of the city of Waukegan. Approximately 2 weeks prior to Mayor Cunningham's being sworn in, I received a call from Pete Cavall informing me that I would no longer be towing for the city of Waukegan. In the months following, several pastors asked for details relative to the ending of my contract with the city, and I provided the details as transpired. Over the following months, Pastor Gass and Pastor Stevenson had several conversations, meetings with Mayor Cunningham. As things progressed, they asked him for reasons why I was terminated. The mayor promised Pastor Gass that he would reinstate me with the third of the city. The date for reinstatement moved approximately 6 different dates. After the mayor and Pastor Gass' most recent conversations, I received a call from Mayor Cunningham expressing how angry he was with me. The mayor accused me of sicking the pastors on him and paying them off. To quote Mayor Cunningham, "You've got these MFers, Gass, Stevenson, Angelo, Pat Jones, fighting for you." He went on to say, "I don't know, are you on the payroll or working for you?" I expressed to the mayor my disappointment in how disrespectful he characterized the clergy. By his language, accused them of being on the take. I also informed him that I did not contact the clergy, they contacted me. Lastly, I told the mayor that none of the clergy has ever and will never be on my payroll. That was just of the conversation. Later, Pastor Gass contacted me and asked me had I heard from the mayor. I told him yes, and I shared the mayor's comments. On Tuesday, today, Pastor Gass called and asked me to attend tonight's council meeting in order to share these specifics. I thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you. Pastor Arthur Gass, Jr. Senior, sorry.
Thank you. I am Arthur Gass Sr. My address is 1403 Reed Road in Zion. I am pastor of the Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church of Waukegan and president of the Black Chamber of Commerce at 668 Lenox. Mr. Mayor, I'm here on behalf of myself and Pastor Stevenson of the Gideon Baptist Church, who's unable to be here. You, in your own words just a few minutes ago, said how we should be so proud of those who succeed and be successful within our community. Lake County Towing, Mr. Rogers, who is homegrown, has a wonderful business that grew up on the South Side and has grown a very profitable business. However, over the last 16 to 18 months ago, we met with you concerning the firing without reason of Lake County Towing by Mr. Cavall, as he had just stated. We expressed our concerns that he was not an employee of the city, and our concern as to why would you fire the best-in-class towing company as it relates to towing equipment, storage, and service, and replace it with 2 firms that was previously fired by prior administration for fireable reasons. You stated that you would bring Lake County Towing back within 6 months, but because of his political support for Mayor Motley that did not sit well with you, he must suffer the consequences. You also stated that when he returned that he would not be given the entire city as before, but would be given a third as these 2 vendors also had prior to being fired. We acknowledge that you are the mayor and we had to respect your decision and accept the third. We waited patiently for 6 months and didn't question your delay but chalked it up to city issues that you stated were priority and dismissed it as such. However, when we met with you approximately 3 months later, you gave us another date. Long story short, you have moved it 6 dates that you said Lake County Towing would be towing, and you did not fulfill your commitment. When you did allow Lake County back, you gave him less than 20% of the 247 miles of Waukegan streets. The firm has only approximately 49 miles, when he should have approximately 82 miles or a third equivalent. When I received information provided by Lake County Towing of January and February of 2017 of the assigned streets boundaries, he is actually getting 9% of the city total tolls for the 2 months. When this is presented to you, your response was, and I quote, "We can revisit again sometime in the future." In the transition report for infrastructure, a section that I championed, I specifically stated that no vendor fired by the city should be allowed to do business with the city again. And yet you fired the best in class and hired 2 previous fired firms to have a work within the city again. It appears that you knew all along that you was not going to give Lake County Towing a third as promised, and deceived us to believe such. By not keeping your word as promised, your credibility, your integrity, your trustworthiness, and honesty is gone. Even when I, your greatest cheerleader and supporter, called this to your attention, you stated, "I trust that this will work itself out, just as other thing has worked itself out."
Thank you, Pastor Gass. Thank you. Christie Diaz.
Hi, my name is Christie Diaz, and I live in Pleasant Hill subdivision in the 9th Ward. And I'm here tonight because I live in a wonderful neighborhood that until a couple of weeks ago, I thought was a really great place to raise my family and bring my granddaughter, who's 1 year old. And, you know, I think we all walk through life thinking that our neighborhoods are great until they're not, until you realize that you've got carcinogens that you're breathing in every day, and Medline and Vantage have to be held accountable for this. We have to do more. I agree with the lady that spoke just a few minutes ago. We can't rely on the EPA or the Illinois EPA to do all that they can do, because it's not going to happen fast enough. We have to put the pressure on them, and we need to act swiftly. And in addition to that, I think the residents of this community need answers to our questions. My questions that I've been trying to find answers to for the last 2 weeks as I've combed through the internet and articles and anything I can find. How long has this been happening? What have they been emitting? You know, what levels have they been emitting? How long have they been doing this? And what actions are they taking? I've seen reports that both Medline and Vantage are planning to put actions into place that will reduce the emissions. That's great. By how much, and when do they plan to do this? These are the questions that have come up in just the last few days that I can't find answers to, and I'm desperate for those answers. As we look at what we're going to do in the future in our neighborhood, in our nice little quiet neighborhood, as I describe it to all of my friends, and come live in our neighborhood, because it's a great place to live and raise a family, and very diverse. And I went from saying that a week ago to somebody at work to thinking, don't move to my neighborhood now, because I don't know that you're safe. And it's an awful feeling to feel that way. And so I encourage the members of the board, first of all, definitely to adopt the resolution that's on the agenda tonight, without saying we have to support our U.S. senators and congressmen, but also to look to what else can the city of Waukegan do to help protect the citizens of this city. Thank you.
Thank you. Jack Dye.
Good evening. I'm Jack Dye, I live in the 6th Ward. I was here to talk about the brewery that you're looking at putting in at the Urban Edge. I am a big fan of microbreweries and the distillery you're looking at. I think that's awesome for Waukegan, and I commend your look towards putting a business downtown. I do have a question about the agreement. We seem to be kind of giving away things to put someone downtown. The first year rent is roughly less than 1/8 of what a local brewery over in Industrial Park 5 miles from downtown pays for someplace next to an old CarQuest parts place. Maybe we're on target, maybe our rates are just fine. I have an issue then if I look at downtown Genesee Street, and anyone who wants to open a bakery walks in, yeah, your rent's gonna be $3,000 a month, and if you wanna put in ovens and fans and water suppression, whatever you're looking for to make things up to code, it's about $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 out of your pocket, and no, you're not getting anything for it. So I'm not sure if the city of Waukegan's missing the boat and not charging enough for this rent. I would love to have the brewery there. I'd love to have something like that in Urban Edge. But I wonder when we give away something at that rate compared to the rest of the downtown places, one of the two approaches is wrong. Either we're letting landowners downtown just have a tax write-off and keep places empty and charge it through the roof and no one ever rents out, or we're doing something wrong on our side. Financially, one of the two has got to be the case. I know that the Urban Edge rent that's being proposed, if I were to rent that space out for a day, it's more expensive than a monthly rent for the proposed figure. I mean, we do have space out in Fountain Square, 33 acres. Maybe I'll just rent that for my kid to go run around in. Maybe cheaper than taking him to a park sometime. And that's a joke, but I look at that stuff and we have to be careful with what we're doing, especially when financially we're looking at passing levies and abatements for all the money we're spending to fix our crumbling infrastructure. The city needs to do economic development, but we need to do it wisely, smartly. Financially, we need to look at seeing what's the right answer. Maybe this rent is correct, then we need to put pressure on the people, the landowners and the landlords downtown to make sure they rent their spaces, because we can't have both. I can't have a guy who's selling a brewery, paying $250, $500, $1,000 a month. When somebody wants to open a cupcake shop downtown, they're asking for $3,500 a month, plus fix up the space to make it to code. We can't operate a city that way. And I urge you guys to look into those things and those issues. We'd love to see development in downtown Waukegan. It's a wonderful town. We'd love to see it grow. But let's make sure we're doing it wisely. We're not just giving away everything just to get a business down there. I'd love to see it happen. And if it's not the Urban Edge issue, then let's maybe look at these landlords downtown and say, hey guys, you might need to work on your rent, or let's work with those guys to make sure we can fill those spaces downtown. Thank you very much. Have a great night.
Thank you. Robert Brown? Robert Brown? No? Okay. Pastor Bosstone Francis?
Good evening. I want to thank you for this opportunity to come and to share. I'm Bosstone Elisha Francis, pastor, Shiloh Baptist Church in Waukegan, 800 South Genesee Street. Amen. And I'm here tonight to also speak on the towing issue. And Pastor Gass was not able to finish his remarks. So I'm going to say what he wanted to say, and then I will end with what I prepared. Mr. Mayor, I have publicly respected and supported you because you gave me no reason not to. But due to this bad judgment to dismiss the importance of spiritual leadership, I am publicly withdrawing my support of you as mayor. If you are willing to allow personal issues to derail your political future over a towing contract and the temperament to slander the community that you are part of as amen, and all of that, amen. Men who are responsible to watch over our soul, I can no longer stand with you and support you as mayor or a candidate for re-election. When you demean one of us, you demean all of us. To me, your word must have a temperament with integrity, credibility, trustworthiness, and honesty. Without that, you are a dangerous person. And then my words, we come tonight to hopefully settle this very important community issue. We wanted to express our disappointment of how you have responded to our wishes. We represent a strong voting community, and we have supported you as mayor. But we cannot accept the way you have responded to two of our outstanding pastors, Gass and Stevenson. And to treat them the way you did means you will treat us the same. The towing issue needs to be corrected and settled. I did not want to have to come to this. I did not want to be here tonight. and to say what I'm saying. I'm not comfortable with this. I'm not comfortable with it. We didn't want this to happen, but you forced our hand. And so we've come tonight to have some resolution to this issue. So we hope that honesty and integrity will prevail in this matter. The members of the North Shore Baptist Ministers Alliance are here. I'm the president. If you want to stand, you can do so to be recognized. If not,
Thank you. Jonathan Gaskill.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, esteemed councilman. I'm coming to you today from the Waukegan Public Library to express our appreciation. On Thursday night last week, we had a family reading night, and we were expecting a very important person to come and visit us. So the Secretary of State, Jesse White, was on his way in, but was very much so delayed. And I heard tell that Mr. Cunningham there was able to entertain a room full of anywhere between dozens of younger than 8-year-old children for almost an hour while they waited for the Secretary of State to attend. So for that, we at the library express our appreciation. Thank you.
Thank you. Clyde McLemore.
Okay, now your time. Good evening. I'm here today on a news article from November the 14th. A city employee made a statement to the news saying, well, I'll tell you what, I'll read it. It says here, Revere said in the interview Wednesday, his goal was not to publicize the situation, but instead do his job as a board member. We have to do a better job with our crisis team, he said at the board meeting last month. This situation that happened with the young lady that passed away at the Jack Benny, there was nobody there from the crisis team. I went over there, I took comp time. I took comp time. I took comp time. I said that 3 times. Just to be there for an hour with those kids. I have here Mr. Revere's time. And on October the 18th, he didn't take no comp time. So what that means is he was still in time. Am I correct? I'm not. They tell me he's still in time because these are his records here. And you can look, the date was October the 18th. And we have a city employee that's out doing political work, he's supposed to be at work for the city. I have it right here. So, I mean, that's stealing. And now, if an Afro-American do that, they going to jail. But I want to say something while I got some time on this towing contract. You know, I want to say this here, that one of the companies that's with it is Whitmore, and I'm going to say Whitmore. And Whitmore, the reason why Ron didn't get the contract is because Ron didn't support Sam during the campaign. But Whitmore didn't either. He supported Lisa May. I drive by there every day, saw the signs and everything. So why wouldn't Ron be punished for something that Whitmore do? I think Whitmore, and then Whitmore is still overcharging customers right today. And I brought the books to him and said, what is this? And he said, a human mistake. Human mistake, I hear you see you calling them people and telling them come get their money back. So, I mean, that I have to agree with this, Mayor, on the towing contract. The man, you did say a third is a third. Thank you.
Thank you. Margaret Carrasco.
Many of you know or aware that I've been very vocal about my stance against increasing our property taxes, both at the city and also with the school district. But what many of our taxpayers in Waukegan do not know is what happens to those females who are vocal under the administration of Mayor Sam Cunningham. This past Wednesday, around 10 o'clock at night, my house is surrounded by police and squad cars. Okay? Why? Because to question a possible arrest of both myself and my husband. Because Waukegan Superintendent Teresa Placencia, the mayor's very, very, very good friend, made a phone call directly. She didn't call 911. She called the deputy chief, whatever, directly. How did she get his phone number? How come so many squads, so many police were surrounding my house? She filed a false police report, is what happened. Therefore, tonight, Mayor, my husband sent you a special present. Let's just see what's inside this special present. In response to the city's harassment, intimidation to our family. First of all, he sends a white blank envelope. Did you know, he says, there are some evil politicians out there that use these white envelopes to get and force, intimidate businesses and local residents to get cash from them. But my husband says, don't worry, he already called the IRS. Next, let's see what else he sent. A bill in the amount of $5,000. Suddenly, all of a sudden, I get this bill from $5,000 from the Fiestas Patrias Parade back in September on Saturday, 3 months later. While then we are aware that there's other persons here, and I have the evidence, who never filled out the application, never paid, and were notifying the city by Alderman Bolden, like after the event took place. Meanwhile, we had months and months of preparation, all these requirements upon the Latino community.
Thank you, Ms. Carrasco. Thank you.
And there's also
James Snowden.
many purchases under the name on the
Thank
south
you.
side under Cunningham.
Mr. James Snowden.
Check that out.
Wow, I feel that breeze. First off, I'd like to honor all the pastors and leaders and ministers this year. The whole world is waiting on this, but our sons are waiting to see this. So I applaud you for coming out tonight. I'm grateful. Mr. Mayor. Beg your pardon?
Microphone.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I talked to you a few years ago, and you were talking about running for mayor, and we talked about vision, purpose, and plan. Everything that these men have said thus far, and I understand what the brother talking about bashing and attacking and all that, but still, yet still, I read my Bible, and my Bible says, in business, be business. This is city business. This is lives, this is income that we're talking about. My father taught me something very important when I was young. He said, be careful what you say. And when you say something, say what you mean and do what you mean. You told me that, and that premises, I respect every man that I look at, and I expect that, for them to do what they said that they would do. You're not doing it. You're not doing it. You're not doing it with hiring. And I went along with Mr. Peterson over there to the first ward, and that was atrocious. That was sad that that's going on in 2000. Two, the city contracts. Why are we having this here conversation? The previous mayor, even with the construction jobs that you got going on and stuff, the previous mayor set it up because he knew that everybody wouldn't be right. for minorities to be able to get some of those jobs. I've been videotaping and I've been going around all of Lake County, and I look at the construction sites. I see no representative of people who look like me. None. None. And when I talk to some of the construction workers, they don't even live here. They don't even live here. I have conversations with my daughters because they went to school and they got master's degree. I said, honey, it's a difference between a salary and a wage. All we've been doing here in Lake County with people who look like me is pushing wages and not giving them no salary. They can't take care of a family with no salary. I'm running into so many young people on the streets asking to borrow change. And then sometimes, out of my own ignorance, I said, I ain't giving you no money. You just going to buy some alcohol or drugs. They said, no, sir, I'm homeless. I got no place to stay. Well, where are your parents? They got no place to stay because we have not yet recovered from the housing crisis.
Thank you, Pastor. Thank you.
Do what you said.
Thank you.
All I can tell you is what they go.
Thank you,
to tell
Pastor.
me. It's time to shit or get off the pot.
Thank you, Pastor. Jose Guzman?
Talk is that?
Hi, my name is Jose Guzman. I'm for Ward, 2nd Ward. And I come in to Mr. Mayor Cunningham. He always complain before the administrations, always complain when they're going to raise taxes. And we talk about that a lot of times. Now, what I hear, you want to raise our taxes. It's wrong. You know what these people make a year? Most of them? 25,000, 30,000. You guys, a lot of you guys, make over 100,000, 80,000. You guys want more from us? Let's make a pay cut. Let's make a pay cut. Anybody make over $80,000? Pay cut. 30%. Every time I go and buy something from Home Depot, I look at my taxes. You buy $100, lots of taxes taken out of there. Where's the money going? Something is wrong. That's for taxes. Now, we need to open Willow Road. Our people is very mad. People live there for 40 years. They come from church, from Holy Family Church. They have to come around to Home Depot. They spend more gas. These people got used to that. 70, 80 years old people. We need the old way. We need to put cameras in there. We need to somehow work it out. The workers, the public works, pick up the mattresses or whatever, the regular garbage, don't pick them up once a month or every 2 months. Give a phone, give a telephone number to call. But find a solution. Find a solution. We need the road reopened. 2 ways. Now, the sidewalks, what you guys do, wrong. You're doing too late in the year. The winter is coming. It's very dangerous for our kids. There's a school in the area. People are going to get hurt. And you know what they're going to happen? Big lawsuit. Big ones. It's going to come. And that's going to happen. At least you got to put the lights around, do something. It's very dangerous. A lot of people, a lot of kids walk to the school.
Thank you, Mr. Guzman. Thank you.
Thank you.
Don Johnson?
Good evening. I'm here on behalf of the turkey giveaway that was hosted a few weeks ago. I'm here to tell you, Mayor Cunningham, thank you. You were able to touch lives that wouldn't have been able to, or your committee, whoever was a part of it. I'm here to speak on behalf of Fountain Square, one of the residents that wanted to be here today. He wasn't able to be here because he had a major stroke. You know who he is, but I'm here to speak on behalf of the seniors and the residents not of nation from here. So I just wanted to say today, thank you for the turkeys that you gave throughout the community. I am not here to point fingers and say who did what and who didn't. Just thank you for reaching out to the families. Fountain Square is a building that is with seniors. My aunt is there, 87 years old, that was once a homeowner, okay? Unfortunately, she had her home for 50+ years. She's in the area of a senior home, and sometimes seniors are forgotten. I like the fact that the pastor spoke on Ron Rogers and the towing. I like the fact that some of the other people come here, but I like to let us also think about the seniors and people that can't always make it. So on my behalf and the seniors at Fountain Square, I just wanted to say thank you for thinking about them. Thank you for also thinking about the school district of Waukegan. Some of those students, parents that wasn't able to have a turkey had one. So thank you. And on that, have a great holiday, everyone.
Thank you. Ralph Peterson Jr.
Hello, everyone. Good people of Waukegan, as you know, I shoot from the hip. I would like to explain to you, we have a towing contractor. The name of the contractor is Record Towing Company, who was fired for calling an African-American company, which is Lake County Towing, nigger. It was used repeatedly. This is why Records was fired. And our now sitting mayor, knowing this, hired the company Records in full know of their past and background. Then it came to my attention, our mayor has stated several times himself that niggers did not put him in office. He stated it to Black Lives Matter, he stated it to school board, and I can produce these people. Whenever I say something, you guys know I give proof. Then there's a very Christian senior citizen sitting there in the fourth row next to the lady on the end who was going to raise some concerns with the mayor. And to this senior citizen, our mayor stated to her, and she sits there, I tell you, I can back up what I say. Our mayor stated to her, well, I'm the pimp of the city now. Then our mayor stated that the local pastors were motherfuckers. Now, I'm saying, you stated it, and I quote. Now, I'd like to also finish. Stop the clock if you're going to talk.
It stopped.
Again, sir, that word cannot be used in our council.
You'll find one to say that.
Well, thank you, please, sir. So, Mr. Peterson, you are always welcome to state your mind, your opinion. Always, sir. I will accept.
Did you say it? Did you say it?
I would always accept.
Did you say it?
I would always accept anything you say about me, but please do not use that type of language at that podium. Please,
well,
sir.
if you can
Thank
say
you,
that
sir.
about our community
Thank you, sir.
leaders, I feel I have a right to state it here.
Clock starts, please. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Now, back to Records Towing. Just as recently as weeks ago, he hired the African-American tow truck company back. He lied like he was going to give them a third. Now, get this, people. He gave them between 15 and 18%. Now, guess who portioned out his section of the city? The racist record company. He's the one who called Ron Rogers and let him know that he was going to divide the work up. Now, Record constantly parades around hollering he's a Christian man. Okay, well, I asked you, Record, who's in the audience today, would Jesus, this is mine, black man, this is yours, and up under a black mirror. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You tricked all of us. You told us that you were gonna take this seat and you were gonna promote change, but instead, you're worse than the previous administration that was here before you. And I would like to close by saying, Record also raises rates. You all know that flatbeds have always came with every tow. Now you're gonna pay additional $25 for that. Now there's admin fees, meaning if they choose to send out 3 pieces of paperwork to anybody, you're gonna pay additional $25 per sheet. How can you lay there, you know 80% of the towing is black and brown, and allow this
Thank you,
racist
Mr.
company to
Peterson.
do your
Thank
neighborhood
you.
like that?
Thank
And
you.
will not
Thank you,
be
Mr.
there
Peterson.
next term.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That concludes the audience. Thank you.
All right, item 4. Motion by Alderman Taylor, second by Alderman Bolton, to adopt as presented, resolution to support the request by U.S. Senator Dick Durbin, U.S. Senator Tammy Duckworth, U.S. Congressman Brad Schneider, for the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency to take appropriate actions to protect the safety of our citizens regarding ethanol oxide emissions. Any questions to the motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor.
Aye.
Alderman Bolton.
Aye.
Alderman Seager.
Aye.
Alderman Mozio.
Aye.
Alderman Villalobos.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Motion's passed and carried. Motion by Alderman Valco, second by Alderman Mozio, to approve monthly treasury report. Are there any questions to the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion's passed and carried.
Your Honor,
Alderman Mozio.
I'll make a motion to omnibus items 6, 7, 9, 10, and 11. We would just take out item 8, Judiciary Committee, and vote those separate. Can we do that, Corporation Counsel?
Yes.
There's a motion on the floor. Get a second by Alderman Newsom. All right. The motion on the floor is an omnibus. Omnibus simply means we're going to take all of these items that are here and we're going to put them in one motion to approve, but they must be read. Is that, I want to make sure I'm saying it correctly?
Yes, that's correct.
Do we need to read them all?
Yeah.
We got to read them all.
We can speed read them.
We can speed read them. There we go. All right. So we're going to go with item 6, Public Works. Alderman Newsom will read them in. Item 7 will be Alderman Valco will read those in. Item 8, Judiciary, will be read in by.
That's going to be, no, item 8 is not going to be omnibus. That'll go one by one individual.
So what we're going to do, the aldermen who are the chairman of that particular committee will read these items in, but we're going to take them as one vote. All right? Alderman Newsom.
Thank you, Your Honor. Item A, motion to authorize the proper city officials to approve change order number 1 with McDowell Mechanical for HVAC preventative maintenance for an estimated amount of $35,000. The joint purchasing contract was previously approved May 21st, 2018. The new amount for the contract will be an estimated amount of $70,000. Funds are currently charged to multiple line items. Item B, motion to authorize the proper city officials to approve change order number 2 for GNS services for $1,765. The contract was originally extended on April 16, 2018, and again on August 20th, 2018, due to performing additional work requested by the city for tree trimming at City Hall and the Police Department. They have exceeded the last extended amount. This will bring the new amount to $119,765. Funds will be charged to line item 100-910-624410. Item C, motion to authorize the proper city officials to approve change order number 1 for J.A. Johnson Paving for additional work that had to be completed by extending this extending the resurfacing to an additional parking lot that was not in the original contract for parking lot F, resurfacing in the amount of $6,951.65. This will bring the contract amount to $183,758.09. Funds are currently charged to line item 595-4594-26492. Item D, motion to authorize the proper city officials to approve purchasing authority in excess of $20,000 with Twin City Auto Parts Incorporated by granting a good faith waiver per section 2-458, subsection I, subsection 7. The city's year-to-date total is $21,966.75, and it is estimated that an approximate amount of $28,000 may be spent with this vendor. Funds are currently charged to line item 100-91052-25474. Item E, motion to authorize the proper city officials to approve the motor fuel tax resolution for maintenance under the Illinois Highway Code. The resolution is based on the calendar year starting January 1st, 2018 to December 31st, 2018, in the amount of $1,160,000. This resolution will be charged to the motor fuel tax funds. Item F, motion to authorize the proper city officials to enter into an IGA intergovernmental agreement between the City of Waukegan and Lake County, Illinois, for the jurisdictional transfer of 14th Street for an amount not to exceed $155,667. This is to transfer 14th Street to the county, in which the city has to pay them for the improvements of the sewers and water main, along with some sidewalks and street light maintenance. Funds will be charged to line item 555-91602743 and line item 555-91602785 from the City of Waukegan 2018 Water and Sewer Bonds. Item G, motion to authorize the proper city officials to approve change order number 1 due to a scrivener's error for Dom Enterprises for $900. This will bring the new and correct contract amount to $127,900. Funds will be charged to line item 555-91602718 from the City of Waukegan 2018 C bonds. Item H, a resolution accepting the final public improvements from the Bridge Point North subdivision and a 2-year maintenance bond on such improvements. Item I, motion to approve a renewal of the waste hauling contract, or we're going to hold that one over. Okay, the motion is, motion to approve a renewal of the waste hauling contract with Advanced Waste to extend the current contract by 45 days from December 1st, or can we amend that to the last council meeting in December?
Yeah, let's do, yes.
Amend that to, what is that, December 17th, December 17th, 2018. And item J, we held that one over.
Okay.
Instead of doing a change order, Capanella and Sons were okay with continuing the work since they're almost finished, and the amount that we had, that was just a guesstimate, and there's other work that they have to do. Instead of doing a change order, they're going to come back with the actual amount.
Actually, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
And I so move. Was that it?
That's it.
Oh.
Alderman Valco.
Thank you, sir. Item A, a motion to authorize the Information Technology Director to execute an agreement for the 2018-2019 fiscal year with Strategic IT Staffing LLC to provide qualified IT professionals on an outsourced basis to augment in-house staff funded from line item 100-103-724438. in an amount not to exceed $60,000. Due to the positive past performance of the firm, coupled with the high degree of industry-specific skill and experience exhibited by the same, it is further authorized to waive the competitive bid process pursuant to City of Waukegan Code of Ordinances, Section 2-458, subsection 1I, subsection 5. Item B, a motion to authorize the fire chief to execute a 5-year agreement commencing on November 19th, 2018 with Fire Recovery USA LLC to provide outside billing and collection services associated with motor vehicle and other emergency incidents. compensation netted on a percentage basis from collections. Line item fees dash fire recovery 100-34006. Due to the positive past performance of the firm, coupled with the high degree of industry-specific skill and experience exhibited by the same, it is further authorized to waive the competitive bidding process pursuant to City of Waukegan Code of Ordinances, Section 2-458, subsection I, subsection 5. Item C, a motion to authorize the proper city officials to make formal application for a grant requiring the disbursement of reimbursable funds and/or a local match requirement with the Illinois Department of Natural Resources for Waukegan Waterfront Working Group Facilitation and Beach/Dune Protection. The execution of any grant agreement and/or intergovernmental agreement must return to the City Council for further authorization and approval. Item D, a motion to authorize the proper city officials to make formal application for a grant requiring the disbursement of reimbursable funds and/or a local match requirement with DAS Charitable Fund for the preservation of feline animal life for Waukegan Police Canine Unit support. The execution of any grant agreement and/or intergovernmental agreement must return to City Council for authorization and approval. Quickly, I apologize, but the name is a misnomer. It's actually for a canine, it's a grant for canine dogs. It just comes through the feline people. Item E, a motion to authorize the proper city officials to make formal application for a grant requiring the disbursement of reimbursable funds and/or a local match requirement with Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning for the support of a drafting of a unified development ordinance. The execution of any grant agreement and/or intergovernmental agreement must return to the City Council for further authorization and approval. Item F is a motion to authorize the proper city officials to make formal application for a grant requiring the disbursement of reimbursable funds and/or a local match requirement with the Federal Emergency Management Agency, commonly known as FEMA, for the purchase of cardiac monitors. The execution of any grant agreement and/or the intergovernmental agreement must return to the City Council for further authorization and approval. Item G, a motion to authorize the proper city officials to make formal application for a grant requiring the disbursement of reimbursable funds and/or a local match requirement with the Department of Justice for the purchase of new or replacement bulletproof vests. The execution of any grant agreement and/or intergovernmental agreement must return to the City Council for further authorization. As a note, this is a 50-50 grant, but our portion is going to be paid by confiscated funds, so there's no cost to the city. Last one, item H, a motion to authorize the proper city officials to make formal application for a grant requiring the disbursement of reimbursable funds and/or a local match requirement with the Illinois Department of Housing for the Abandoned Residential Property Municipal Relief Program. The execution of any grant agreement and/or intergovernmental agreement, must return to the City Council for further authorization and approval. And I so move, Your Honor. That's it.
All right.
Should we vote on those two, because we're going to take the judiciary individually?
Yeah. Let's do those two. So there's a motion on the floor. Now there's a motion for item 7, Finance Committee, correction.
6 and 7.
For 6 and 7. For 6 and 7.
And all the subparts.
And all the subparts. Are there any questions to the motion? Roll call, please, and this is for the honors for those 2, 6 and 7.
Alderman Tempest. Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor.
Aye.
Alderman Bolton.
Aye.
Alderman Seager.
Aye.
Alderman Mozio.
Aye.
Alderman Villalobos. Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Motion's passed and carried. Item 8, Judiciary Committee, please. Alderman Villalobos.
Yes, thank you. Item A, a resolution authorizing the mayor to sign a letter of agreement with Cole's Children's Museum for the use of the Urban Edge location for February through April of 2019. So move.
Motion by Alderman Villalobos, second by Alderman, I'm sorry, here we go, Judiciary. Mozio. Any questions to the motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor.
Aye.
Alderman Bolton.
Aye.
Alderman Seager.
Aye.
Alderman Mozio.
Aye.
Alderman Villalobos.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Motion's passed and carried. Item B.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me. A resolution authorizing the mayor to sign a lease agreement for the Urban Edge location as a craft brewery and distillery with tasting rooms. And I so move.
Motion by Alderman Villalobos, second by Alderman Tempest. Any questions to the motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor.
Aye.
Alderman Bolton. Alderman Seager.
Aye.
Alderman Mozio.
Aye.
Alderman Villalobos.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Nay.
Okay. Item C, an ordinance creating a Class A3 distilling license. And I so move.
Motion by Alderman Villalobos, second by Alderman Valco. Any questions to the motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor.
Aye.
Alderman Bolton.
Aye.
Alderman Seager.
Aye.
Alderman Mozio.
Aye.
Alderman Villalobos.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Nay.
Welcome, guys.
Yes.
Motion's passed and carried.
Yes. Item D was held over in committee. Item E, motion to adopt as presented ordinance adding one Class C liquor license for Wild West Grill and Bar located at 1412 Washington Street. And I so move.
Motion by Alderman Villalobos, second by Alderman Mozio. Any questions to the motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor.
Aye.
Alderman Bolton.
No.
Alderman Seager.
Aye.
Alderman Mozio.
Aye.
Alderman Villalobos.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Nay.
Motion's passed and carried.
That is
I'm the
all.
bust arrest, correct, Your Honor?
Omnibus to rest? Yeah, we can. Old business? Yeah, these are just,
Yep.
no old business,
We'll do 9, 10, 11, 12.
yeah, we can do that, I mean,
That's going all this time, too.
yeah. All right. There's a motion by Alderman Mozio, second by Alderman Tempest, to omnibus items 9, 10, 11, 12. Again, items 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right. We're going to start with the Insurance Committee. Alderman Taylor.
Motion authorizing the proper city officials to settle police department workers' compensation claim C 645-18-104442-01 for a total of $98,830.
Okay.
Alderman Newsom, item 10.
Item 10, Labor Relations. Motion to adopt Resolution 2018, a resolution granting an out-of-policy salary increase to a disabled police officer. And I so move.
Items 11 on the old business, to reconsider an ordinance abating a portion of the 2018 tax levy for the payment of principal and interest on the $7,005 general obligation bond, Series 2015A, roadway improvement project, to reconsider an ordinance abating a portion of the 2018 levy, tax levy for the payment of principal interest of $6,850,000, general obligation bond, Series 2016A, road improvement project. Motion to reconsider an ordinance abating a portion of the 2018 tax levy for the payment of principal and interest on the $14,860,000 general obligation bonds, Series 2018A, roadway improvement projects. Under new business, motion to approve vendor payments dated November 19, 2018, a total amount of $2,887,271.17. Item B, motion to approve regular payroll dated November 9, 2018, a total amount of $1,525,747.50. Item C, motion to approve elected officials' monthly expense account payroll dated November 9, 2018, in a total amount of $6,391.66. Item D, motion to approve PBLC holiday payback payroll dated November 9, 2018, a total amount of $4,095.06. Item E, motion to approve a final cash out names listed on the agenda payroll dated November 9, 2018, a total amount of $5,509.75. Item F, motion to approve comp time cash out name listed on the agenda payroll dated November 9th, 2018, total amount of $483.10. Item G, motion to approve outdoor special events, Waukegan Main Street annual tree lighting ceremony 2018 at 220 West Clayton Street, Waukegan, from 3:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. on December 1st, 2018. The sponsor has applied under the Directive for Non-City Government Use City-Owned Buildings and Venues. Item H, motion to approve all raffle sales and applications. Like I said, there's a motion on the floor, and there's a motion on the floor. Motion by Alderman Moiseo, second by Alderman Tempest. Any questions to any of the motion? Alderman Valco.
Yes, sir. Number 11, A, B, and C. I spoke with Corporation Counsel on this before it hit the agenda. I just want to make sure it's ambiguous the way it reads, but you and I discussed, sir, that I wanted it, nothing happens until we pass the levy.
Yes,
Is this okay the way it reads?
It is exactly how it should read.
Okay, good. All right, thank you, sir.
Okay. Would there be a first and a second on the motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor.
Aye.
Alderman Bolton.
Aye.
Alderman Seager.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Villalobos.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
All right. Now, ordinances on item 13. Item 14, closing items. Alderman's time. Madam Clerk.
Alderman Tempest.
Yes.
Alderman Valco.
Quickly, I know there's times that speakers come up, and even in the audience, after we leave, they ask for, what are we doing for training for our homegrown individuals? I've got something from Demar Harris, who he's spoken up here a couple of times, and he keeps sending me emails all the time. We have classes begin for construction/carpentry training. So if you know any individuals that would like to be trained for carpenters, this is pretty, there's no phone number to call. All it says is 141 South Genesee Street, the Fuller Center for Housing. Demar Harris does have his phone number here, but he works for the Lake County Workforce Development. If anybody has pencil, or if you see this later on, it's 847-377-3423. Very important, the orientation dates are Friday, November 30th, and Wednesday, December 5th, and classes begin December 10th. So if you know anybody who's interested and want to get into the carpentry program, this is the way to go.
Give it again.
12.
The last thing I have is the Community Action Partnership of Lake County offers financial hardship and need assistance. This includes rental assistance. The Community Action Partnership of Lake County is located at 2424 Washington, Suite 207. Here's the kicker. To apply, you have to have ID for all adults in the home 18 years of age or older. You have to have Social Security cards for all individuals in the home, including the children. And you have to have verification of all income received by everyone in the home for the 90-day period prior to you putting in your application. So if you think you can meet that criteria, they help financially with rent. Again, that's 2424 Washington, Suite 207. That's all I have, ma'am.
Alderman Taylor. Yes, I'd like to start off first by recognizing and thanking the Ministers Alliance for coming tonight. Listening to your concerns has quite frankly been heart-wrenching. When I hear what you have to say, it's important for us to hear. We're a community. When part of our community doesn't feel included, it hurts all of us. Mr. Rogers, you've had a business in the 9th Ward for a long time. Never have I received a complaint on you. You run an impeccable business, and I thank you for not giving me any problems. I never hear from you. My community is happy with you, so thank you. I want to talk a little bit about something that Mr. Dye brought up. We did discuss this tonight. That was one of my questions, was since our rent is starting so low and escalates, will they still be here? At the end of the day, I want to get a business going there. I think it'll help our theaters, so that's why I'm agreeing to do it, and I think that's how most of the aldermen up here feel. For my resident, Christie, who came up and talked about, and any of the others who came up and talked about the MEDLINE situation, believe me, I have been on this since I heard about it. I became aware of it November 2nd. I was not told about it before that. I have been to every meeting and searching, just like you have any information I can get. I want to be careful how we handle this, that I realize with MEDLINE, the product that they are making, it is for sterilization. I want to make sure that we don't end up closing them down or fining them to the point that we then cause a health crisis, that they don't have a sterile way to get things done. They can't use steam. But I think we look at every alternative we can. I'm happy with the way that Lake County has progressed on this. I think that all of this council, including our mayor, will be on this. I don't think anybody is turning our backs on Waukegan for this. This is very important to me, and personally, I live in the 9th Ward where this is happening, so you bet I'm concerned. Last, I want to make sure that I thank our Planning and Zoning Department for the work that they did on the comprehensive plan. I don't think people understand the amount of work that our department has put in on this, so thank you very much. And I want to wish everybody a very happy Thanksgiving. And again, thank you for the feedback that we get from the community. Good, bad, or indifferent, your voice matters to us, so thank you. Alderman Bolton.
Pass.
Alderman Seager.
Pass.
Alderman Mozio.
Pass.
Alderman Villalobos.
Yeah, just a couple of things to mention. Number one, since we omnibus a lot of stuff, there's one thing I think is something that a good opportunity for a grant application that we're applying to through CMAP, Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning, to try to update and unify our zoning ordinances and subdivision ordinances. I think this is a great step for us to do some forward-thinking planning, so because this is great timing with our comprehensive land use planning. So I really hope that we get it. Waukegan has worked with CMAP in the past to do an LTA. LTA is an acronym for Local Technical Assistance. The last one I believe that City of Waukegan did was regarding the Washington Street corridor, and there's still aspects of that we're seeking to improve that corridor through that document. So I'm pretty optimistic that CMAP will do a really wonderful job in partnering with the City of Waukegan to help us update those ordinances. The other thing I want to mention or speak about is MEDLINE and all the residents that came and spoke about it. Thank you for speaking out. It's important to me that we stay on top of this. I'm glad to see that the mayor has been working with the Lake County Health Department to get some more information. I think we need to continue with it, as Alderman Taylor said. That way residents are aware. As you know, most of you know, I do volunteer regarding the coal burning power plant in Waukegan, and so we have East End, West End polluters, and we need to do a better way of making sure that they reduce their emissions on all fronts and move forward from that. And then I want to welcome Mike Hathaway and the distillery and the brewery in downtown Waukegan. Fairly optimistic about that. As I've mentioned in the past too, I have grown up as an adult in the craft brewery era, and so to experience and enjoy some wonderful beers and spirits, I think is a great asset to downtown Waukegan to help us with economic development there. The pastors, thank you for speaking out about the towing issue. I've heard a little bit about it, but I never heard it to that degree and that extent. It's pretty eye-opening to me. During the mayor's race, did become aware that towing companies and the contract is a big issue, and funding for, like, political funding is a thing through the towing industry. I think maybe the city of Waukegan needs to look at trying to disassociate funding with contracts. I think some states do it where if a company does campaign funding, that company's not eligible to receive any contracts for a year. I think that's something Waukegan needs to look at and possibly implement, because again, it keeps the money away from politics. I believe we need to change the way money works with politics. And that is it for tonight. Thank you.
Alderman Newsome.
Pass.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Alderman Moiseo, second by Alderman Tempest to adjourn. Before everybody leaves, happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Alderman, happy Thanksgiving to you.
All right.